Now, what Mamdani announced here was genuinely scary.
To those who insist that the era of big government is over, hear me when I say this. No longer will City Hall hesitate to use its power.
Hey, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. According to Ronald Reagan, those are the scariest words in the English dictionary. Ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Mamdani has officially been sworn in as the new mayor of New York City, and everything about that inauguration was weird.
Flashback.
What is real life? This?
I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you.
I am running.
I know, but that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that.
What is Sharia law? I come from a political tradition Donald Trump describes as the enemy within. We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
That's Sharia law.
What is Sharia law? This?
I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you.
I am running.
I know, but that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that.
What is Sharia law? Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak. Thank you.
And very disturbing. And I know a lot of people on the right have this view that New Yorkers deserve what they're voting for. They deserve to have Mamdani destroy the city. And to some extent, I understand that viewpoint. We, the people, deserve the government we vote for. But it's really not good for the country as a whole when the most important financial city falls to socialism.
In America, socialism is hot again.
Democratic socialism is your kid's public school.
It's our interstate highway system.
It's the researchers and scientists paid with our taxes.
We can do better when we do them together.
Really? I know better, because I'm from Guatemala. I've seen the impact of socialism. My father escaped Cuba. My grandfather suffered under communists in Hungary before escaping. As a child, I was taught socialism was wrong. I grew up mocking it. But democratic socialism sounded okay. It made sense to me that government should take care of the economy.
It's complete anarchy.
But then I watched socialism fail in Latin America.
No hay nada.
I learned that every time a country started down the socialist path, it failed. When Castro came to power, people were excited. They cheered. He was going to help the poor and make everyone equal. But the result?
Sailing for freedom aboard an old green Chevy truck.
Hundreds of thousands fled Cuba. Here, in Little Havana in Miami, Cubans who escaped are eager to remind people how bad life in Cuba had become. This man's father was a doctor.
My father had to sell illegal meat out of his ambulance in Cuba because the government wouldn't pay him enough. I mean, Cuban doctors earn like less than 1% than American doctors.
You don't see any future. Everything is stagnated. Healthcare, education, nowadays they're in ruins.
I tell my Venezuelan friends, we warned you guys.
Esta es la hora del pueblo bolivariano.
Venezuela did not listen. They followed Hugo Chavez down the socialist path.
De las grandes riquezas que hay que distribuirlas por igual, de manera equitativa.
Chavez's promises impressed American celebrities too.
Fascinating guy.
This is you and Hugo Chavez.
Oh, Michael Moore!
Really?
Come on in. He says, help me write my speech.
El capitalismo es el reino de la injusticia.
Chavez said, I'll take from the rich and give to the poor. When there was no money left, the government just printed more. That caused inflation. 1,000,000% inflation. Now, a chicken costs this much.
Venezuela has, of today, the highest inflation in the world.
When business owners raised prices to keep up with inflation, government often took away their businesses.
Por Dios! Algo de corazón!
That's what's happening to this man.
Ajá, pero eso está en manos del gobierno, ¿verdad?
Chavez sees lots of private property.
¿Y este edificio?
Es un edificio que tiene comercio privado de joyería.
Exprópiese.
Chavez sees thousands and thousands of businesses, just took them away from their owners. Yet most Venezuelans like that.
People was clapping so hard. They were like, oh, finally, there's somebody here making social justice.
But government grabbing private businesses created shortages of almost everything. Why did you leave your country?
It's like the apocalypse. It's no food, no medicine.
How do you feel when you see other countries with the same mistakes that Cuba has made for the past decades?
Terrible.
Michelle Ibarra escaped Cuba and says Venezuela should have learned from Cuba's failure.
People in other countries in Latin America, they will blame anything else besides socialism.
Blaming socialism for Venezuela's riches to rags story is grossly misleading.
There are plenty of socialist countries that look nothing like Venezuela.
When I talk about democratic socialism, I'm not looking at Venezuela, I'm not looking at Cuba, I'm looking at countries like Denmark and Sweden.
Why not try my Swedish tradition?
Scandinavia is now called a socialist success. Even people jailed in Venezuela like Francisco Marquez say that.
Yeah, I mean, you have Norway, you have Finland, you have these type of countries that are democratic, that have democratic institutions, and many of them have socialist policies.
In Scandinavia, private business is largely left alone. Governments don't even set a minimum wage. Freedom rankings score Scandinavian countries high on property rights and business freedom.
All Danes enjoy welfare benefits.
Yes, there's a big welfare state, but it's funded by thriving free enterprise.
Denmark.
But so many American politicians say Denmark is a socialist paradise that Denmark's prime minister felt compelled to reply.
Denmark is far from a socialist planned economy. Denmark is a market economy.
So, if Scandinavia is not socialist, where has socialism ever worked? Nowhere.
What would you say to the Americans that like the idea of socialism and support it here?
I would say that they should wake up. You don't need the government to dictate how to live your life, how much money you should make, how your family should be treated, or how much you should pay. If anything, I think taxes are still a bit high here, but it's the best we have in the entire world.
Think about that the next time you hear Michael Moore and celebrities praising socialism. Socialism wrecks economies, wrecks lives. And in addition, it kills. In my next video, I'll show you why under socialism, violence is inevitable.
And what Mamdani did and said at that inauguration revealed to everyone exactly what he's plotting to do, and it's bad. So Mamdani got sworn in twice. The one you're seeing now is the first one and the real one. That's when he officially became mayor last night. Here's the moment where Bernie Sanders swears Zohran Mamdani in.
I, Zohran Mamdani.
I, Zohran Mamdani.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
And the Charter of the City of New York.
And the Charter of the City of New York.
So help me God.
So help me God.
This is what I want you to take a look at. This man got sworn in on a Quran. This is the first time this has happened in New York mayoral history. The mayor of the biggest city in America getting sworn into office on the Quran. Here's why that's problematic. The oath he takes is to protect the Constitution. You don't need an expert in Islam to tell you that the Quran and the Constitution are in conflict with each other. Massive conflict. How are you going to be faithful to the Constitution and faithful to Islam? You can't serve two masters at the same time.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahu Akbar.
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 Here's AOC celebrating it like it's something great.
Zohran Mamdani will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city. He will be our first immigrant mayor in over a century. He will be the youngest mayor of New York City in generations. But most importantly, Zohran will be a mayor for all of us.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. Bullshit.
Absolutely no mention of his competence. This is precisely what's wrong with the left. For people that say they are tolerant of everybody and they want an open society, they sure focus a lot on who a person is and how they look, and not on the skills and value they bring to the collective. Really, they think the more different everyone is, the more united they'll be. She didn't mention a single thing that would make Mamdani relatable to New Yorkers. She only mentioned the things that make him different. Now, a lot of people didn't even notice this last night, but Mamdani's wife, Rama Duwaji, was wearing some $630 luxury boots at the swearing-in ceremony, and she's supposed to be a socialist. What's actually interesting about that is across the country, Gavin Newsom's press office replied with a picture of Donald Trump surrounded by his money, by gold and beautiful furniture, thinking they did something. The reason people are calling that out with Mamdani is because he lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, yet he's living rich. And he says he's a socialist that cares about everybody and wants to redistribute wealth. But Donald Trump is the opposite of that. He's a pure-blooded capitalist. He's a billionaire. He flies private. He doesn't pretend to be a socialist amongst the people. He's unapologetically who he is. And then they showed a picture of Melania Trump with a $40,000 bag, again thinking they did something. No, Melania is not a socialist. She's married to a billionaire. She lives a luxury lifestyle. It's not because of politics. When she leaves the White House, she'll live a better life. Okay? Now, Mamdani fans who went to the inauguration already have a little bit of buyer's remorse. They're getting a taste of what's coming. They were disappointed by the disastrous block party with no food and no bathrooms. A Brooklyn resident said it's not exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting food and music. They probably didn't even go to the inauguration to listen to Mamdani. Like good socialists, they wanted free stuff from other people. A Gen Z voter said, I could have watched this from home. And the reason is they went to the inauguration and this is all they got the entire time.
I'd like to dedicate this poem to my trans, queer, foreign students of color at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
This is what they were getting. Now, at the inauguration, you had Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, and AOC on stage talking about unity, how New Yorkers are in this together, and then the next minute, it's tax the rich, tax the rich. Now, when you see something like this, please keep in mind that these people aren't working class. That's a lie. When they talk about these Marxist revolutions, they say they're fueled and led by the working class. They're rising up against the oligarchs. They're going to take power and everything's going to be fair. But every single person you see here is overeducated and underpaid. And that's why they have this bitterness towards rich people. They went to college, picked up a bunch of useless degrees. A lot of them probably blog and write ideas about how society ought to function, but none of them contribute anything to the market. And they know that. So rather than work hard and actually become useful members of society, they become socialist. You think if this lady got a degree in finance and made $500,000 on Wall Street, you think she would be here like tax the rich? No, because she would be rich.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
So I want your audience to understand this is a top priority for the administration. The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years. The Department of Homeland Security is conducting door-to-door investigations on the ground at potential fraud sites. And they're also, of course, conducting continued deportations of illegal aliens in Minnesota's communities. We're also not afraid to use denaturalization. That's a tool at the President and the Secretary of State's disposal, and it's one this administration has previously used before. I know the Health and Human Services Department has also announced we are cutting off all child care funding to the state of Minnesota until we get to the bottom of this fraud. The Department of Labor is investigating their unemployment insurance program. The Department of USDA Agriculture Secretary Rollins weeks ago sent a letter to Governor Walz demanding he turn over every single name of SNAP recipients on the books in Minnesota. And the Minnesota Attorney General actually sued the Trump administration for that. What are they hiding? Our entire administration is working around the clock to get to the bottom of it.
It is a ton of money in it. California especially, they call it the homeless industrial complex. The homeless industrial complex. There is so much money in quote unquote helping the homeless and treating drug addicts that it makes no sense to actually solve the problem. You make more money on the so-called treatment. It's like some of these forms of cancer. Maybe they could cure it, but maybe they don't want to because there's more money in the treatment. And again, some forms of cancer, some forms of sickness in humans is preventable. The focus shouldn't be about the cure. It should be about prevention. The focus shouldn't be about treating. It should be about prevention. Same thing with homelessness. When you allow things to persist, when the laws are cool with camping outside, when there's money given to these people, when they're getting free drug paraphernalia, free food, free this, free that, you're enabling it.
And do you see a lot of shelters popping up here in the Bronx and other places around New York City?
Yeah. I've seen like a couple helping them.
What do you think about all the migrants that are getting free rent, you get the free food, they get a free time here in New York City while you guys have to pay for your rent and everything like that? Does that make you upset?
Yeah, honestly, that is not fair for me. That shit is not fair at all, because for me, just because they're immigrants, we all live here. We all got to work. We all got to get our shit. So they should do the same shit. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And me as a mother, I need help too. Shit. See me?
Have you heard about the mothers getting free health care? They get free diapers. They get all that stuff.
I haven't got shit. I haven't got shit.
They got their guns out. A violent scene in South Minneapolis on Monday as ICE zeroes in on this car. New video from a neighbor shows ICE shattering the window before detaining the male driver. Minutes later, agents detain the woman in the passenger seat.
Asha, anything you want to say to taxpayers? She isn't talking to 5 Investigates, but in court, Asha Hassan admitted to a years-long scam through her business, Smart Therapy.
Guys, this is unbelievable. You have the Feeding the Future program, which is feeding people that are desperate. They were bilking that, sending it back to Somalia. Autism, taking kids, putting them into programs they don't need, but they took the money, gave it to the parents, and they sent it back to Somalia in many cases.
New today, federal prosecutors announced now a second fraud case in the autism program. The owner of Star Autism Center in St. Cloud, Abdi Najib Yusuf, is accused of using a strikingly similar technique to steal more than $6 million taxpayer dollars.
Now, we're talking 15, 20 billion, right? For reference, the entire gross domestic product of the nation of Somalia is $12 billion.
Wow, guys, so it gets worse than we ever thought it would be.
Daycares, autism, scams. Minnesota Leering Center. That is the epicenter of it all. Nick Shirley
Hey, he's a beast, bro. He exposed
man.
it. That video got like 100 million views, bro.
I saw it everywhere.
100 mil. He been going crazy.
He's good.
Yeah, he is good. He did a good job.
So how did a 23-year-old person that just records on their phone expose more than the FBI themselves?
Bro, the FBI is incompetent. Like, how did we have Doge and y'all didn't uncover this fraud?
Doge didn't find this?
Like, I just find like a lot of this hard to believe. And then nobody's going to jail. We talked all that crap during election season. Oh, we coming after all the corruption, And now we have a state with corruption, with the government leaders allowing the corruption, involved on the corruption, and nothing's been done.
When it's time to go, you can choose how. You can wait for enforcement, or you can leave on your terms. The CBP Home app lets you self-deport with dignity, directly, and securely. Don't wait. Decide how it ends.
Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president. Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president.
On the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, catch exclamation point.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Hey, let me shut down the city! We are at war!
We're in a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far, and then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
But Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high. No.
With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick them.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets.
It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He's not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.